as for what emerges from the box, you've all been waiting for this for a week. A horde of kind of half-size demonic creatures who are all pale white and scraggly, and who have huge fanged mouths and staring blank eyes, and ragged hair. And it's like the box is, this big. And how many? Now, it's not like your characters can get an exact count of this.
No, I'm a bit busy.
But if you did, there would be 11.
Maybe a little bit difficult to put them into the box again.
You don't say.
And they are swarming and leaping and screeching. Like, oddly enough, to coin a phrase, like the souls of the damned. Who knew? And so they come out and swarm over anything and everything they can. It has been carefully made clear to me that although they are semi-intelligent, they attack anything that's not a greater demon. That's anything. So they are just swarming out. And the most obvious thing to them, now we are going to be fair. Bonk with the box. The box pops open. Its open top is probably pointing that way.
Thank you.
Just, they don't actually have a luck saving roll, just raw luck. So I just have to think it over. So bam, and these creatures called manes just swarm into the water and across the air, leaping on the shoulders of the others. And it's like a fountain, right? I mean, they just keep coming, and the ones that just emerge like jump onto the ones which are already leaping and leap off of those. So there's huge profusion. You're just standing there, I imagine, holding the box. And as they all leap out, and they are swarming out across everything.
Okay, let's get out of here. Immediately.
Well, you have an action left in this round because you have not taken your action. So aside from defending yourself against the Lacedon, which is folded into it, you actually have a full minute to talk about right now.
I need help.
Yeah, I'm considering. Can I just grab him by the hair and drag him out of the water?
Why not the shoulder instead of the hair?
You're paralyzed. So I'm sure she'll get a better grip on more of you as you know.
Yeah,
So,
but right now
right.
it's more like a desperate grip.
Yeah,
Can I get
absolutely.
any part of him?
There's no can involved. You absolutely do this. Remember, in this game, there are no attribute checks. No can I as far as if it is physically possible for a person to do that, just do it.
I hadn't realized that.
Yeah.
So I grab him by the hair and drag him with me and try to get out of here as fast as possible.
Well,
so
you've
pure
got
movement.
Well, you've got impeded movement. But considering that, let's see, and with leather armor, I believe that your movement is impeded slightly, but still, that would be 10 squares.
Okay, yes.
Wait, without the water. But this is way steep. We're going to have it. So cut it in half. So
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get well away from the chamber and into this portion.
So out of sight.
And with a strength of 12, that's not a problem to haul a person along, although it is a little tough. I mean, this is a full-grown person with weaponry. So you're actually having this is actually a very difficult traverse for you. That's I think 5 squares is pretty.
That's generous.
It's pretty generous.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. We're going to get right there for the 5 squares.
Okay.
So that is your move. And I'm sad to say that the box will have to be left bobbing gently on the
Yes.
waves.
Just like me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was a choice. If he
Yeah.
says a word about
That's
that
right.
choice, I'm going to push him back into the
Yeah, you
water.
guys can have your little dialogue about this later. All right,
That's
now,
fine.
that's this action taken care of. We'll move into a new round. Now things are going to shift a little bit differently. You're actually out of the danger zone now, the two of you,
Mhm.
because the mains are going to occupy everybody's attention. It's going to be quite difficult, in fact. They are going to, the way I see it is that the hag is very, very disinclined to have her domain violated, and will enter into rather savage combat. When a main is killed, I keep mixing them up with lemurs, which are a different sort of pathetic demon. Those guys, oh right, yes, those guys, the mains when killed, which the hag will certainly attend to. I'm not going to bother about that, but at the moment, but the hag will certainly manage to hit one of them. They're quite easy to hit, and it will dissipate into stinking purple vapor. Right. So there is a great deal of stinking purple vapor and splashes and shrieks and chompings and so forth. The Lacedon will actually let you go, and the Lacedons will descend down into the deep. They know they're Lacedons, as a form of ghoul, have low intelligence, which is enough to recognize that a mere undead does not really want to mix it up with demons. For one thing, they're not edible. So they start, I mean, mains are kind of crap demons, but they are really demons.
Yeah.
So anyway, so down they go. So the hag is the one who's furious and will lay into them. Mains, being only semi-intelligent, are not interested in things they cannot see. The circumstances of you coming up out of the water are therefore slightly, what I say again?
Yeah. Am I still paralyzed?
You are paralyzed.
Okay.
Are quite interesting, and you will only be able to put it together a little bit later when you are more capable. You are paralyzed, but that doesn't mean you're unconscious, by the way.
No.
So it means that, and you are sadly feeling yourself unable to control your breathing as you're paralyzed, literally trying to breathe the water, and probably thinking, that's it for me. When somebody's arms encircle you and you are swiftly yanked away from the deep water and in that direction toward that staircase, and heave up out of the water with somebody carrying you. And it is the oddest thing. The person just feels very animalistic, almost rubbery in their athletic movements. And you could swear they've got a long rat-like tail. And that person is carrying you out. If anybody had been watching, you would have seen Mila transforming in the air, do a perfect swimmer's dive into the water and go after you.
Okay.
Were-rats are
I
extremely
guess a
perceptive,
little less.
and when everybody but you guys got initiative, because it made sense to divide it up that way, she spotted you. So, yeah. Okay, so that is happening now. So the two of you are sloshing, gasping, getting to that staircase. And hauling along and trying to get up to where your bow is, for example. And if I could have that monster manual for a second,
Yes, of course.
Christopher, I want to check on ghoulish paralysis to see just how bad off you are.
I'm fine. right?
Of course you are.
Takes days to turn into a ghoul.
Fortunately, that involves being killed.
Okay.
Um,
Perhaps it is a ghoul, not a vampire. Or a zombie, okay.
Yeah,
okay. Right, any human killed by a ghoulish attack will become a ghoul.
I'm not a human.
Killed.
Also,
You're
So
fine.
far he's
You're
still
fine.
alive. Although,
Now, I should point out that I think it is not being all that clear about how long. You become rigid paralysis. So you are, I believe, we can treat it as a scene effect, and that you are slowly deparalyzing at this time. As probably are you, although that fear effect was very savage, and you're not going to be capable of movement for a while.
Okay.
So anyway, yes, so you guys are clambering, I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, you're clambering up to where it's knee deep again. Is that right? Because you're the only one who can move here.
yeah, if I strong enough, I guess I'm trying to get out of that
Mhm.
as soon as it's possible.
Okay.
Not very interested in that box. More
Right.
into getting him into a dry spot where I can kind of stop.
I
Carrying him
decree
around.
that Mila's natural caution, given what kind of a creature she is, and your distractions will probably make it unlikely that you'll see that
I mean,
she's-
if she's further down
Yeah,
there,
she's-
I'm not going to
It's
see
that-
her.
Yeah, it's like she's keeping a distance.
Mhm.
She's keeping back from where you are. So the exactly what is happening back here is going to take care of itself, whatever it may be. The hag is formidable, and may, I don't think she can maybe kill 11 all by herself, but it's going to be a really nasty prolonged fight before she goes down. So the coming up here, you are going to slosh your way along, and are you eventually going to try to get out of here entirely? Okay, so that will bring you up into this structure, into this interior room in this fortress, which has long since been beat up and picked apart and stuff like that. This right here, this little star structure, is actually a shrine to the law church. Old, battered, unused, whatever. There is this old beat up door there, and just as you get there, and you're probably checking, finding that he's still alive, and is there a little dialogue the two of you might have at this time?
Never mind. So if
What
you want,
happened?
shit happened. So we don't have the box, we don't have the guy.
The guy is fine to not have. He was not the priority at all. Why is the box open?
Nobody's ever going to see me.
Because it was the box or you.
Thinking about that.
Philbus, I'm sorry to say this. And
His job was to keep the box closed and get it to the church.
For the sake of, we would both be dead. We would all be dead by now. If I hadn't used the box to kind of get that guy away and it opened accidentally.
You have weapons.
I should have left you down there.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know. I'm glad you pulled me out.
You should have started with that.
Yes, I'm also confused as to what happened. When you're confused,
You know
you
what?
don't think logically.
If you feel better now, you can, for me, go back down there, grab the box. You're welcome to it. I will heal.
If I grab the box and think about it,
All yours.
they're just gonna know it's open. How would we go back and don't say anything about the box being open? And we both try to avoid talking about this subject anymore.
Yes.
And I won't blame you because in the end you did save my life, and I am very thankful for it.
Good.
Excellent. Now, of course, when we check your character's psychological predilections, there's one way to make sure that she never talks about it. But maybe that's for another day. Okay, so
That would be painful. Yeah.
So, we are talking about professional assassins here. So, now, professional church assassins, which should tell you more. Now, you guys have come to this point, and it is here that coming up out of the water is this woman who is, she had been wearing very simple, almost underwear-like dress, which is gone. And when she comes up and she's hauling this insensate hulk up behind her, and is curses and looks at you, and whatever cloak or cape or whatever that you're wearing, it's going to rip it off you and put it around herself, and look at the two of you and get your attention. I mean, by all this noise, she's coming up out of the water and up these stairs right behind you.
I aim my bow. I'm cautious. It could be danger.
And she will say, like it or not, I think all of our plans have been ruined tonight.
True.
The next trouble is getting out of here alive.
You're probably right.
Certain shipping concerns of mine would find it convenient to use this region. And I found a way to convince the self-appointed guardian of this place to give me access. But without that permission and her backup, if anybody is, shall we say, carrying out commerce here at this point, they're not going to want anyone to see them. So, for the consideration of never seeing me here and vice versa, I propose a temporary, self-interested alliance. With perhaps items of mutual favor to be discussed in a contractual fashion afterward.
Translates into normal speech. What?
The politician wants money.
I provide you with funds. Should you in the ordinary course of your day happen to come across information that strikes you as interesting to me, about some matters I'll specify, you'll pass it along.
Well, I need to know what's interesting for you. I have to know who you are.
She's already noted the two of you. She's incredibly observant. She's already noted whatever indications of your church association are. So she's actually talking. She says, well, I mean, the dissolutions, policies and activities are always of interest to me. She will introduce herself somewhat more carefully as Mila Vilvarga. And I am the High Secretary of the Golden Void. And I have considerable business interests in the Street of the Gods and in this region, which your church makes extremely difficult for me. And all of those of us who simply want to carry out business like normal people. She is, of course, talking about smuggling, but that aside, so a little bit of information would only be nice. We can be nice, can't we?
Sure. don't interfere with our work, I don't really care.
Excellent.